Dr. Shah is in the house, everyone. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube video channel again. I'm Dr. Lachlan. My guest show today is Dr. Kinnor Shah, the legend of dentistry. He has done so much for us over the past decades. Uh, he's been practicing for quite some time, but he's in every podcast that you can imagine. Uh, I know Dr. Shah have a lot of credentials. I just want to say hello to Dr. Shah first. Dr. Shah, how are you?
Hey, thank you so much for having me on the show again, Dr. Locke. How are you doing?
Doing great, thank you. Uh, the reason I brought you here today is because I have seen a lot of movement going on with the Doctor Gala for 2023. I'm excited to join you as well, but on behalf of those of the dentist and doctor who trying to figure out what's going on with this movement that we do, and could you share with us what are we trying to do next year and what this movement is all about?
Well, the doctor-to-doctor movement is about bringing doctors together to collaborate, do a lot of networking together, do business together, learn from each other, and create a better, more sustainable environment for our industry versus where it's been heading for the last 50 years. Um, So time has come to bring the leaders of industry together to determine some of the paths that we have in resolving the greatest challenges we have today in the healthcare industry. That happens at nighttime. So during the day, we have the Congress events with the Italian official National Dental Association, who will be conducting a Congress, their 12th one, and it is pertaining to the simplicity and excellence. So it's kind of goes hand in hand, and we invite all of our dental, medical, and many other different disciplines who will be participating in this event.
So let me just repeat again. The Doctor World Gala is going to happen to- in June, the 8 to 6 to 8 to 10 July, right, June 2023 in Italy, correct?
Correct. The heart of Europe, the heart of the world, sort
Eh,
of a center point where we can make it easier on everyone to travel to on an island type environment in a five-star resort. Correct.
It's it's wonderful, and it looked like we are collaborate with the Italian Dental Society or Association, or is this a separate event, or is it a merged event?
It's a collaborative event. The Italian Dental Association, if you know the history of how Italy operates, they used to originally be ran by physicians that were doing dental procedures until they split into the dental and then they became an autonomous body. So there's a lot of connections with the medical community there, and it's not just a medical and medical doctors and dentists, but we're looking at pharmacists, optometrists, chiropractors, and PhDs, medical philosophy, people that are well positioned in the supply chain of the healthcare industry. So a very collaborative, multidisciplinary effort. I've been traveling into other medical conferences, and you'd be surprised what kind of amazing collaborations can come out of working with our medical and other discipline doctors who are essentially living the same lives as we do.
I see. What sort of uh, tr- problem that you see in this in our dentistry were in America as well as other country, as you mentioned about we are trying to put together the world leader of doctor and dentist and medical doctor and work together to build something that different than what you see happening around the world right now, or particularly in our country in the United States right now. What do you see that the problem right now? Can you give us some example?
The question is, we can go into detail into those discussions, but if you, Doc Locke, if you remember when they put 100 scientists in the room, they came out with an atomic bomb that was not to the benefit of humanity. Imagine what would happen when we put 1,000 doctors who are smart people, good clinicians, innovators, researchers, executives, down the list it goes. We have everything to be self-sufficient as doctors. We have doctors that are lawyers, we have doctors that are accountants, we have doctors that are into finance. We can solve our own problems. We really don't need these third parties. Let me just give you an example. The insurance industry in the United States, you have some companies that are clocking in 200 plus million dollars, $1 billion, excuse me, in profit for not doing anything but pushing some papers around and making promises based on events that could happen to employers who subsequently extend these benefits, governments and employers. Now you have trillions of dollars that are being wasted that would be on the table for doctors and patients if all these third parties got back into the supply chain where they belong, like management groups. They're not supposed to be owning anything in a medical or dental practice, but they find ways around the laws. You have big pharma sending off doctors to vacations to sell their products and what have you, and the public looks at us as pill pushers. We can't have that. We have to restore our benevolence and autonomy in the healthcare industry, and something big needs to happen. Now, this kind of stuff happens in the gala events and the speeches there and the award ceremony that will commence the inauguration or ratification process of the world's top doctors, we call them, who have contributed to this movement selflessly and without any pay or compensation. They came and shared knowledge to millions of other providers who tuned into our platforms. That needs to be recognized. But on the other hand, the Congress portion is very academic. We don't have any political agenda there. We're going to come there. There's going to be some of the finest speakers in the world in our industry who are going to be lecturing, and you earn some CE in that capacity. One has an option to attend one or both if they so desire to do so. But yeah, basically we need a big bang to have an impact for future generations to come for patients, which is all of us, as well as doctors.
Just those of you haven't had a chance to really introduce Dr. Shah. Dr. Shah is the inventor, the founder, the entrepreneur, the leader of the dental industry and other industry. He's the founder and the inventor of the universal fastening system, multiple other inventions that he does. So we're talking with someone who have the ability to influence our industry and other healthcare industry. So again, just want to go back again about our event in June next year. Would you tell us, is this event is just for dentists only, or is this for open for every other doctor?
So the existing lineup of speakers are going to be part of AIO's standard lineup that they put together every year. There's a multidisciplinary session that we will be doing on the third day. That's a collaboration between AIO and us on site. So there's going to be some lectures going on that relate to everything. But the awardees that are coming, there's a very comprehensive group of those different disciplines. Some might want to participate in the Congress, others won't. But for dentists, I highly encourage to come because some of the greatest of our times will be at that location, and it would be beneficial to one's career to establish relationships with these people, and vice versa, I'm sure. So highly recommend our dental colleagues. This all started in dentistry. We saw that we can come together and all work together, especially when it is for the love of education that did bring us together. So we want to multiply the same concept in other industries in healthcare, because as you know, they have destroyed medicine, they have destroyed pharmacy, they destroyed optometry. Now they're coming for dentistry. So if we're the ones to reverse this trend, we hope that our brothers and sisters in the other disciplines follow suit.
Come over, right? We need to invite, I mean, we encouraged everyone in different industry to come over for this 3-day events. And for dentists, how many CE credit would them be receiving for people in the United States, Dr. Sar?
So the vast majority of registrants and participants so far I've seen are from the North American and the European crowd. You're going to earn up to 30 hours, depending if you take the workshops. There's some really amazing stuff going on. Robotics courses, regenerative courses. You're going to have digital related courses, and on it goes. It's kind of like a real nice flow of the newest and latest that you would benefit from just simply sitting in and see what's going on in the technology world today. So up to 30 CE units, depending on how many you participate in the general session as well as the ancillary workshops.
Okay. Now, this Dr. World Gala have been established. This the first time, or we this is second or third time?
For as to an event of
Yes.
this magnitude, it is the first of its kind, but it took some 15 years of religiously attending conferences and collaborating with colleagues from across the world to get to that stage. We have done many meetings. The AIO, I believe it's the 23rd Sardinian meeting, the 23rd that's happening in Sardinia, and the
Hmm.
12th AIO meeting itself, the national one. It's all simultaneously happening at this event. So we are no new, and the Global Summits Institute has been holding events for many years. This is not our first rodeo, but it's the first Doctors World Gala by, of, and for doctors.
I agree, and I believe that I know that you formed the they call Commission. Would you just elaborate a little bit about your goal, your vision of that group of teams leader of different industry, different specialists? Give us some idea what your vision, just what your goal, how you want to bring those the group of people together in the room to build something for the organization that you working on.
Excellent. Hex Commission. The Hex Commission, we have a meeting quarterly. It's a public meeting that our doctors can tune in. Sometimes we get over 150,000 people that tune in. Um, the Hex Commission conducts meetings based on this hex of the different industries: medicine, pharmacy, optometry, chiropractic, PhD, and pharmacy. And we sit down, and this is the body to address the major problems that we have, and we listen to everyone's opinions, and we suggest ideas and take other groups that we collaborate with to help them. But we're here for the sole purposes of doctors and subsequently, obviously, patients that are the major benefactor of our movement. Your brother, your mother, your sister, your father, they're all patients, and they should never be subject to wandering profiteers in our industry. So that's what we're here for. Um, Now, as to the Hex Commission is going to conduct the award ceremony itself, the cap and gown ceremony to those doctors who have been elected by the election committee, which is another body. And as you know, we have the dream team of 100 doctors that pull the strings in the background and make things happen. So a very established system that we are going to lay a case for at the red carpet event as well as the gala portion dinner as to what we envision. But that's a surprise for you to come to. It's not a public scenario. Will be discussed between doctors at that event in that room.
All right. So wonderful. I like to share a few slides of the where we going next year. And so give me a second. I want to, if you don't mind, I want to share the slide for those of us who have no idea what is taking place and where we're gonna be. So if you don't mind, I just give me 1 second here. I'm gonna show how excited to people who come together, like us working so hard to get this place ready for them. So let's see here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, the Italian team is working very, very hard to manage it. We are 8 months out, and there's over 300 registered KOLs alone on the Gala side. So I'm very confident that at this rate, we should easily cap out at 1,000, and then we're going to take it online, and there will be certain portions of the gala that we will be displaying. So it'd be really good for exhibitors as to exposure. And there's a surprise group that will also be sharing this event globally in almost every country if things pan out as planned. So that's also going to be a nice little online exposure for those that are participating or wish to be receiving that exposure. There's going to be some people interviewing people on site and some amazing things that are developing. So Sardinia is you go down far in Italy, you go into Sicily, is a nice island environment, but it's similar to Sicily. It's an island sort of, but this one is actually 360 degrees covered by water. And there is flight, there are flight options, not just from Rome, but from many major cities in Europe, including Frankfurt, Barcelona, and others. But I flew into Frankfurt and flew into Sardinia. I went this year to their event to kind of check out the entire venue, participate, go through it, see how pleasant it is. You get off the airplane and you land, and you need some sort of a driving service to take you to the. It's actually a sizable island to take you to the hotel. And there's a link that we have put in. It's called Amores IT. That's the agent group that is managing all of the travels and for those that wish to travel to them. But it becomes very convenient because they send somebody to pick you up, they take you to the hotel, and then they take you back if you get a package or deal. And you're going to be with 1,000 doctors for 3 days in this beautiful island. Everywhere you look while you're driving to the hotel on the side of the road, you see flamingos in the water, and you
Wow.
see it's just amazing. And just all these little shops and hotels, and it's very exciting to experience. So I had the full experience myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I would gladly go back. And after presenting our findings, a couple of the dream team members flew in, a couple of the regions came in, and we sat down at a table and decided to conduct the first gala at this historic gala at this venue. Now, there are a lot of reasons to participate. That's, for example, on the part of being inside the conference, you get to meet, connect, market, enhance, and promote, and also reenact. It's the ultimate networking event. Just put it into perspective. It took me 15 some years, probably more of networking and running around to get to a position where I would be on a first name basis with a lot of these people. So you can save that time by getting in and meeting them in one venue at one time instead of chasing them from Miami to New York, Chicago to wherever the next conference is in the hopes that you're going to run into them versus being on the same island with them for 3 consecutive days. We're going to hold the gala on the first day, on the 8th. There's a concert involved also on one of the nights. There's the red carpet event and the gala are happening the first night as of the latest organizing committee board meeting. And on that Thursday, everybody's going to sort of get to know each other a little bit. And then the next 2 days, all business and all interactions on all clinical partnerships and research and whatever it is that you're into, I would be very surprised if you don't find someone there that can help you take you to the next step. Um, so that's the reason we do it. Normally, when you go to conference, either the Saturday or last day of the event where they point to gala, we want these doctors to get to know each other. We want them to touch. These are respectable, honest people that have achieved something for the benefit of others that always will put the patient before their interests, be it whatever that may be. And that's what we need to get back to. For thousands of years, it was a doctor-patient autonomy. It was not to be compromised by any third party. And illness doesn't have third-party profiteers in the equation. It's between the disease, the patient, and the doctor. There are no third parties. So
Mm-hmm.
we cannot be in a position to be subservient to these third parties. It creates a very, very bad environment. There's a clear conflict of interest. They don't even understand what the Hippocratic oath and all those things that we learn as doctors mean, and they invite themselves in and cause a lot of damage that we later have to fix. But the time has come where we really need to come up with sustainable solutions using technology. I have a thriving practice. I don't have a management group. I have an office manager. We have meetings, and we use the best of technologies we can get our hands on. And the office is managed. I don't have to give up my equity and let them take it based on nonsense stories about percentage of collection. And here you have some little benefits. I don't have those problems. Don't I keep my equity? It's my equity. It's something that I went to school for 20 years. It shouldn't be their equity. It shouldn't be belong to private equity groups. So they've been sort of robbing doctors of their equity and their rights to autonomy for decades now. And it's just sometimes at some point it's got to stop to a point where if they come to the table and they say, hey, we have an a la carte menu here, you can provide this, this, and this service for this kind of price, then it's a different environment than hiring them, controlling their finances, owning all the assets and all the games that are being played, and filing, in corporate friendly states where they can circumvent laws and what have you. Anyway, there's plenty of games that are being played. I'm sure everybody has their own grievances. At the Hex Commission, we put them on the table and we talk about them and we look for solutions. Insurance doesn't have to exist. They got started in the back of a grocery store, and now they're interfering with patient-doctor ships all over the world by dictating what is going to get paid for and what's not. And this is all got this madness somehow got to come to an end. But we will find a solution from within, not from without. Now, this year, we're going to have some sponsorship opportunities. We invite all these third parties that want to get in front of doctors to come to this event. Be it wherever you're located, we're not anti-third parties. We're just saying that third parties should have, a mutually respectable and work environment with us. So there's going to be 1,000 doctors there. Each one of them probably has a massive following, some from thousands to some in the hundreds of thousands. And it's good to come because if you convince a small fraction of these colleagues that are there that you're providing something of value to doctors and patients, I'm also fairly certain that you will find many individuals receptive of what it is that you're promoting. So exhibitors, I highly recommend you guys book fast. We have just opened up a couple of days ago to exhibitors, and I believe there's like 9 already on the books, and there's only 60 some spots. So it's the grand exhibition. But if you want to be more involved and you want to be an anchor sponsor or you want to be a diamond sponsor, that requires a little bit more um, discussion between us. So feel free to reach out to us to visit those things. The others are listed in the prospectus, which there are 4 links that I put here to the side and where to obtain that vendor prospectus and fill it out and send it to the Italian Dental Association, who oversees that entire process. But if you go back here in this one, you can see in a general overview what we're looking at: leading doctors, concert, grand exhibition, red carpet, lots of that, then doctor networking. And if you want to bring your wives, and for the attendees that are coming, if you want to bring your wives, husbands, your children, and what have you, there are so many activities on this island to do if you're not participating at the gala event or inside that. You will find them to be very, very exciting. It's very kid friendly. I'm taking my children and my family. You got elegant shops, bars, restaurants, outdoor pools and tennis courts and wellness and spa center and diving club and diving center and kids club and pharmacy and all and on and on it goes. A huge array of live entertainment as well. So this resort has it all, hopefully, of what you desire from an island vacation. And Italy is on a lot of people's bucket list. And if you're gonna go down there, you see Italy and its culture. What better than Sardinia? It's a major vacation a hub for Europeans. Growing up in Germany myself, I was aware of what and where Sardinia was. But at that time, I was not in a position to go to Italy. So I highly recommend you explore all that there is on the island to enjoy with your friends, your colleagues, or your family. We're trying to make this as convenient for everyone as possible. Location, venue, agenda, and so on.
Beautiful. So, Dr. Shah, what is the cost estimates for an average dentist who want to join this event? What
I
what
think
it
the
mhm.
AIO is 300 euros. That's something like $300 to get the entry. It's not like the ones here that cost a lot more. I
Okay.
mean, for a couple of grand, I was able to get a round trip tickets when I went. And then the hotels are very reasonable, very similar to us here, somewhere between 150 to $200 for a night. You can find there's 5 hotels on the island. If you stay at the venue, if you book fast enough, that's the highest recommended. But once those go out, the options are a couple of miles here, a couple of miles there. So you'll need a lot of transport back and forth during those 3 days if you're going back to the hotel to rest or whatever you want to do. That's on the conference side because there's going to be about 500 people that we're going to cap out at the conference side. The gala side, there is no cost for awardees, which is the 300 um, uh, special guests that we have from the former classes, class of 2020, 21, 22, and 23.
Hmm.
Um, Dream Team members and Hex Commission members do not pay to be part of the gala. The ticket is $2,500 per seat, and there's only 150 seats available for the gala. We max out at 450.
What day that would be on the you said you mentioned about a gala. That's like one special day.
The gala is a consortium of events. You have the red carpet falls under the gala event. The awards ceremony falls under the gala event. The concert falls under the gala event, and also the World Gala in general, where we are gathering to network, and the dinner also falls under that. So it's a big ordeal, and the goal is to have some high profile concert people there and make it a very, very memorable event for everyone. Um, I highly recommend also that those who want to join us
Hmm.
immediately get reserved for the gala because that one is going to sell out also very quickly. So 1,000 doctors after the 1,000, there will be an online option for those that cannot travel, but it will be about certain specific portions of the event, like the grand exhibition we're going to cover. We're going to do some interviews there. We're going to cover some parts of the gala, but perhaps not some things that don't belong into the public space, but other aspects of the gala, like the concert and red carpet and things of that sort, will be certainly covered by sure various media outlets that will be there, as well as you know, our internet live stream.
Wonderful, wonderful. Really quick, just a personal question. What do you see the paradigm shift of dental medicine or dental or medicine in the next 5 to 10 years? What do you see that is there will be, what do you predict that in the next in the future there's going to be a big paradigm shift for dental and medical field as far as how the new doctor is going to come out and what he sees anticipate the change from the traditional way of practicing that we've been practicing.
Um, it's a very broad question, but my contention would be that with AI, we can make these third-party profiteers, the middleman, obsolete if we utilize that tool in the right way versus the evil way. I think that currently we are an absolute mess. There are for-profit schools popping up everywhere, racking up huge debts for doctors. Doctors have no choice but to work for these corporates, and then you end up with a situation where we all end up working for the corporates. So we have to kind of protect our autonomy. My best suggestion to any dentist or doctor is find a sole proprietor, go and use that opportunity for a year or two as your stepping stone to your own dream, to your own career, to your own place, where you don't have to answer to a office supervisor about why you did what you did. You have full autonomy. The only people that are supposed to oversee doctors are regulatory bodies, not corporations. So we need to keep it that way because For th thousands of years they have been trying, but they still haven't succeeded. We outnumber them significantly. In fact, in most countries, these games are illegal. They have prevailed in the U.S. and Europe, and that gives them a little bit of a boost to try to do this everywhere else, and they will be coming for you wherever you are, because that's what profit and money and those kind of things do. We all like earning money, but the ethical way, the honest way,
Mhm.
create something in society, provide a service, and get compensated for it. So I think that our industry needs a massive overhaul because it's not sustainable. These doctors can't start their lives if you don't have a happy doctor, because the doctors are who increase access to care. It's not these corporations. So we need to get back to that. How are we going to get there? I don't know, but at the rate it's going, you have a lot of less applicants to medical school, a lot of applicants that are less in dental school. People are seeing us and saying, oh, 30 years ago was a wonderful life. Now we are all struggling, loans, this, that, getting pounded by regulatory agencies, and just it's just absolutely ridiculous. And we're gonna lose a lot of people that want to go into medicine and healthcare.
Mhm.
Um, so that's my prediction that it's going to be a downward trend. It's getting really bad for doctors, and this is because of a mistake we made. We allowed these guys to come in. If we would have kept our grounds, but the problem is all these doctors are isolated. They're doing good things in the communities. They're taking care of their patients, and they're lost touch with each other. So that creates a vacuum for other interests to come in. So if we unite again, a small fraction of the 30 plus million doctors that are running around this planet, a fraction of us, we can fix this before it's too late. As it's going, very bad trajectory.
Mhm.
Is it possible to fix? Yes, it's still possible to fix.
Dr. Shah, the other question I was thinking of is the regarding to you. A lot of times you talk about the United States America standard of care. Now, what about the world standard of care? Is that something you've been working on to collaborate and bring the dental leader or medical leader together to bring something called international standard of care rather than like one country standard of care, and that's the problem that I see that there is some issue but different between one country and another. How do we um, bring that level of international standard of care rather than like one country standard of care? And I see there's a major problem there.
Yeah, yep. When I said that they're third parties, I mean all third parties, including governments. You see, the problem we have is all these borders and they don't work anymore. We're all collaborating on a global scale. We get our information from each other. I might see a case that's posted about some guy in Nepal that did a root canal. I might learn something from it. Education and our knowledge exchange is fully global now. These
Hmm.
domestic regulatory agencies, they're getting nice and fat from their membership fees and their regulatory fees, and they sit back and really enjoy it. But they're meaningless. They're becoming meaningless by the day because at the end of the day, medicine stays the same. The patient-doctor relationship or doctrines, that does not change. So, could it be wrong that the root canal is done a certain way in Nepal? Might be wrong in the United States? No, it should all be done in the same way, right? The standard of care should be agreeable by the majority of the people that are practicing or the experts. Now, there is no global regulatory body in existence right now to a capacity where we look at all the issues that are facing us. But then again, um, the way a parasite works on its host, it drains the host of all the energy it has and all of the food supply. If again there was a small fraction of us looking at this problem and we identified what these groups are that are sucking us dry of our rights to medicine, then we can solve it. So yeah, I do believe there needs to be a global one, not in terms of what some people consider as globalization, but there needs to be an authority elected by its people, by doctors, not by the United Nations setting up the World Health Organization. It's a joke. You're talking an independent body who oversees the regulators. These people that are regulating us should be overseen. They're not. They're not overseen by anybody. They're overseen by government entities who have no knowledge of what healthcare is about. And eventually, we need to have a global system that protects the rights of patients and doctors. And let me tell you, the World Health Organization is in it. So we are looking at those options as well. But I think everything we do is systematic, one step after another. We started in a small room with a couple of doctors. Now we have had millions of people on our platform that are healthcare professionals. So as time goes by, as the doctors participate more and collaborate, a bigger, greater vision can emerge. But it can't emerge if you can't get together and get to know each other a little bit. And every one of these guys that's coming can move mountains, especially the Gala crowd.
That's
Uh, yeah.
That's the reason why we have the Doctor World Gala, guys. So those of you who listen to us, please, we encourage you to uh, check out our event coming up in June in Italy, Sardinia Islands. It's a beautiful island, and it's so many world-renowned doctor come there, and so you have a chance to speak with them and learn about their, expert specialty and everything else. Uh, it's an honor to bring you here today for a quick introduction of how this gala event gonna be, and I hope to see you another episode. Talk a little bit as it get closer to starting point of the next year, Dr. Shah. You have something to share with the before we finish this talk?
Yeah, as a last item to make it easier for people to join us, the hashtag doctor spelled out, doctor, T-O, doctor, will lead you to us. And you will frequently see the four links registered in all of those posts, be it on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, etc. And it will lead you to a registration page, and you can take it from there, both for either the gala or the Congress. And on behalf of the organizing committee, Dr. Enrico Lai, Dr. Giancarlo, Dr. Gurian, Dr. Pretender, and myself, thank you for your consideration, and we look forward to hosting you in Sardinia, Italy.
See you guys next time. Thank you, Dr. Sar. Have a great day.
Thanks so much. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.